The politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
The 2564 is coming up on Barney 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Nnamdi Azikiwe, popularly known as Zik, was a prominent Nigerian nationalist and the first president of Nigeria. He was born on November 16, 1904 in Zungeru, which was then part of the British Protectorate of Northern Nigeria.
In defense of my honor and with due deference to those concerned, I submit.
Azikiwe played a significant role in the fight for Nigeria's independence from British colonial rule. He was one of the founding members of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, NCNC, a political party that advocated for self-governance and represented the interests of the Nigerian people. Under Azikiwe's leadership, the NCNC gained widespread support, particularly in the eastern region of Nigeria. He was known for his eloquent and powerful oratory skills, which helped him rally the masses and inspire them to fight for their rights. In 1963, Nigeria gained independence and Azikiwe became the country's first indigenous Governor General. He later served as the President of Nigeria from 1963 till 1966. Azikiwe's contributions to Nigeria's independence movement and his leadership in the early years of the country's independence have left a lasting impact on Nigerian history.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
When I first heard VOP, I thought they were talking about me because I'm a voiceover personality. But no, this is Voice of the People TV, and you are riveted forever because this is the place to be.
Yo guys, your boy Chela. Shout out to VOP TV. I love you guys.
Salut, salut tout le monde. Suspect 95. Là, on est sur VOP TV. On passe un bon temps. J'espère que vous kiffez. On est au Afrima. On est ensemble. VOP TV.
Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy giddy giddy. VOP, you don't know Stoneware from Ghana representing live and living color. Yeah, Beam Nation President. Outside with it. Bless up.
Hello, this is Milo from Ivory Coast. Keep watch Voice of the People TV. Regardez la voix du peuple, la télévision de la voix du peuple. Que Dieu vous bénisse. À très bientôt. Love you so much.
Hi guys, what's up? This is Gaze Baba. I am watching VOP TV. Usually you be told to not touch the dial, but I tell you to touch the dial and increase the volume. You're like, keep it locked. It's Afro Gospel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shego Aronzo. You're watching VOP. Don't change the dial.
My Joe, fine girl. My Joe, fine babe. Only are you, but on the Fuji Monsu. Yes, don't touch the dial. This is me, Dr. Adiwala Iba. Keep watching VOP TV.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOPT.
Welcome, guys. The show is Hashtags right here on VOP TV. My name is Vivian Oguche, and it's such a pleasure to have you hang out with me today. Lots of things to talk about. But hey, if this is your first time coming aboard, then this is just the right place here, and accept a very warm welcome from us. I tell you, this is where you get to get all things trending and all things topical. Now, chief among those things trending right now is the fact that the federal government has come out to debunk the trending news that there's been a pause on the implementation of the tax laws guidelines. Taiwo Oyedele came out to say that it is fake news. He even made a screenshot of a publication and did a bold fake news on it. So I'm just going to take you straight to X now so you see that post by Taiwo Oyedele. Yes, that's him. Taiwo Oyedele, by the way, is the president of Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms, right? So he says, fake news, federal government poses on tax laws guidelines and cites uncertainty. And that was put up by Daily Post. We had a number of other prominent publications that actually circulated this one. But like we do it here, we tell it to you, black and white, the way it is. Now, there is another post that I'd like for you to take a look at. But first, netizens are taking their jabs at him by way of reacting to this one. Julia Zelum says, okay, got that this is fake news. But be sincere, are you guys including the agencies that introduced the law not confused? Let me take that again. Are you guys including the agencies that introduced the law not confused? So Julius is saying, are you guys not even confused? Maybe because you're confused, that's why you're causing so much confusion. That's why he's saying, let's take a look at the next post now, shall we? So Showlight says, Mr. Taiwo, know this today. You must not, oh my gosh, you must go to jail for this fraudulent tax law. This is a promise. Oh boy, that doesn't sound good at all. Sheyi Ajayi said, you said the poor will not suffer. 6.98 naira on use of USSD by locals. Stamp duty, VAT on airtime, bank charges, VAT on transfer. I hope you remember as pastor when the Israelites asked for their burden to lessen, but Rehoboam refused. Let's continue to press the neck of the poor. Just to let you know, guys, that netizens are heaping curses on Taiwo Oyedele as we speak right now. Uncle Clive says, have you fixed the discrepancies? Are our public officers now accountable enough to handle our taxes? Did you hear that $9 million was used to lobby for reframing terrorist activity? What safety nets have you created for those who have been impoverished? More reactions. So, Uncle Roger says, this is how you will be remembered. Fake tax laws and fake agenda. Maurice Iwu did not clean his name till date. You guys remember who Maurice Iwu is? One-time INEC chairman. Yeah. And then we have Genevieve Mbama who says, I knew it. I wanted to write fake news on the posts when I saw them, but I decided to wait for your response. The operators in the dark economy desperately when the law stalled. Let me take that again. The operators in the dark economy, desperately waiting for the law to be stalled. I'm trying to wrap my head around what Genevieve is saying. And then she ends by saying, they must pay tax. Now, Ololade says, Nigeria will make you explain. Since this tax thing began, this man never rests. Now, talking about Nigerians making Oyedele explain, Daily Post again put up this post and a video of him explaining these whole tax laws to Nigerians, including those people who send questions to him via online. Let's take a look at the next post now by Daily Post, shall we? Yeah, Daily Trust, I beg your pardon. Daily Trust says, Taiwo Oyedele's speech at 2026 Economic Outlook. So the credit goes to Daily Trust for this video. Take a listen, guys.
You know, when people said there were alterations in the law, and I said, I just hope that someone somewhere with the right authority will use the opportunity of these allegations of alteration to the tax law to look for the fire and put it out rather than chasing the smoke. 3 senior advocates of Nigeria, including a former NBA president, said to me that there are 3 versions of the Constitution. You know, so this is a problem with the process. Quality assurance, accountability. For the people online, one question is, this 500,000 rents, how is it going to be administered? Would it be automatic for all employees? Would it be based on the pay structure if you have rent allowance there? Or would it be that you need to bring receipts? The idea behind this 500,000 I already explained to you is for the urban poor. But we couldn't discriminate because that would be unconstitutional, so everybody can claim it. How it will be claimed so that the process is not too cumbersome is still being worked out with the Joint Revenue Board. We have some drafts we haven't finalized, which goes into the last question that says, would all revenue collection be consolidated under NRS? The answer is yes, but that process has only just started. And then the question is, they haven't even issued all these guidelines. That is true. Our plan in an ideal world was for all these regulations, guidelines, public notices to be ready like 3 months before December, because we want people to give their feedback, debate it, finalize, and gazette. But in our real world, it did not happen like that. And as I speak to you today, we have more than 40 regulations, guidelines, and public notices that have been finalized. but we can't release a single one of them because we're still waiting for what is the final version of the Gazette. You know why? Because the Authentication Act says whatever the government printer publishes is the evidence of the law that was passed. That government printer published something which we shared, and we said this is the official version. Lawmakers said it's not what they passed. So they said they would do their own gazette. They set up their committee, they did their own review, they did their own gazette. They sent me a copy, soft copy. But that's not what the Authentication Act says. So I sent my staff, go to government printer and go and buy. They went there as of last week, they said it's not ready, that they should wait. So I also told everybody, the NRS, GRB, you to wait, because we can't issue guidelines when we are not 100% certain that this is the final official position. I called my staff this morning, I said, go back there, be following up every day, go there, don't call them, go and sit down there. And I got feedback as I was here that says that, I don't even know whether I should say this one because I don't know what the press will report. But in the interest of accountability and transparency, so my staff told me that they said everything that they printed, the National Assembly collected from them and said they shouldn't sell to anyone, that they want to complete their review. While that is good, it also creates the uncertainty again. So in other words, what I'll say to you is the explanation we have provided about the law, because all this issue of they've altered, they've not altered, it's not even a lot. There are few items that shouldn't affect the main thing that people need to, nothing about the tax rate, about the tax burden, the filing deadline. So, but this is the best I can say to you as we speak. Hopefully we can get over this sooner rather than later. Thank you very much.
I don't know, does that make sense to you guys, or does it even leave you more confused than convinced? I take it that is what, most publications listen to and interpreted it as saying that things are going to be paused until there is clarity. Because, hey, that's the impression I got. Right. In the meantime, a former Labour Party presidential candidate and ADC chieftain Peter Obi has called for the suspension of the implementation of the tax laws. On that note, let's go to another story. It's still about fake news, and this time it is the Akwa Ibom State Assembly that is debunking fake news. So it has been trending like mad that the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has criminalized having affairs with married men. That has garnered so much traction online, so much so that Akwa Ibom State Assembly decided to come up with an emphatic statement to quash that rumor. And it's saying, gosh, this is not even true. So Akwa Ibom Assembly refused report of bill criminalizing sexual relationships with married men. The Akwa Ibom State government has also condemned the fake report. Credit goes to the Premium Times for this reporting. Let's take a look at the next page now. So Premium Times goes on to say, let's continue. The Akwa Ibom House of Assembly has dismissed as false and misleading a viral social media report alleging plans to pass a bill criminalizing sexual relationships with married men. The rebuttal is contained in a statement issued on Monday in Uyo and signed by the chairperson, House Committee on Information, Jerry Otu. There's another page. Let's go and take a look at it. So Mr. Otu, in a statement, described the report circulating on social media as a fabrication with no legislative basis. End of quote. According to him, the claim reportedly shared via a Facebook post by one Obiavel Albert Abigo alleged that a bill sponsored by the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Akon Eyakenyi, sought to impose a 10-year jail term on women involved in a relationship with married men while prescribing a 2 million naira fine for men. Yes, let's continue to take a look at it. Yeah, so this is a quote. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly wishes to categorically state that this report is entirely false and has no basis in fact. It goes on to say this assembly has not received or considered any such bill, and the deputy governor has not sponsored it. We condemn this malicious attempt to tarnish the image of the deputy governor and the assembly, and urge the public to disregard this fake news and any associated commentaries. End of quote. This is Mr. Oti talking now. Mr. Otu added that the House was committed to its constitutional role of lawmaking and will not be swayed by mischievous attempts to undermine its integrity. The Akwa Ibom State government has also condemned the fake report. And so we have done our job here and hashtags by bringing you the authentic report. It is fake news. It has not been criminalized in Akwa Ibom if you date married men. But hey, let's call a spade a spade. Why would you want to date married men, for crying out loud? Stop it if you're doing it. And if you intend to do it, don't even do it. There is no pleasure in it. Yeah, on that note, we move on to the next hashtag, which is hashtag Natasha. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is trending, guys. Today, formally, a court actually said it is over. The federal government does not hold any grounds against you, Natasha. You can go and you can rest. Let's take a look at the post that's going to introduce us to the very first video, shall we? Yeah. Nigerian Affairs Journal says, Abuja High Court strikes out the federal government's criminal charges against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan following the filing of a notice of discontinuance by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. The case arose from petitions submitted by Senate President Akpabio and former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello over statements made by Senator Natasha on Channels TV's Politics Today, a program hosted by Seun Okimbaloye, in which she accused Akpabio and Bello of plotting to eliminate her. Let's take a look at the next post now. So, but Hacker Socials says the Senate President Akpabio and former Governor Yahaya Bello are individuals who misuse power to their advantage in witch hunting an innocent person, which is myself. But I'd like to extend a sincere appreciation to President Tinubu. He was briefed on the truth and ordered the discontinuance of the 2 federal government cases against me. Now, the Port Harcourt Socials quoted Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan verbatim. We have that video. Take a look.
Well, I can't even count. Let me just say this. You see, in life, there are certain situations that test your faith in your country, and these 2 cases were one of them. But I give God the gratitude and the deep appreciation to the good people of Nigeria, Kogi State, and especially Kogi Central, for their stand with me through this ordeal. And the withdrawal of these 2 federal government cases against me only proves what we've always known, that these cases were maliciously instigated by 2 individuals who misused power to their advantage in witch hunting an innocent person, which is myself. But I'd like to extend a sincere appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for having been briefed the truth and in his commitment to justice, ordered the discontinuance of the 2 cases. So finally, I appreciate my husband, my beloved husband. Thank you so much, my love. Come forward. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Even when I didn't believe in things you did, you stood for me. Thank you. My team, my party, my staff, everybody. In short, I can't even begin to mention the people. Thank you all so much. I have never doubted that Nigeria is a land of possibilities and that the truth somehow will always get one vindicated. So now I can actually rest and resume my work fully, because it's been a whole lot the past few months, no matter how strong and tough one is. For a person like me that has never been invited by the police for anything, does not have any financial case of financial embezzlement or drug abuse and nothing, I'm what one will actually say a good citizen of Nigeria. stronger. So to just be slammed simultaneously by 2 federal government cases, that was a whole lot. But they say whatever doesn't break you makes you stronger. I would say I'm actually toughened, but it's not something I would want to experience, and I wouldn't wish to anybody. But at the end of the day, I think justice prevailed. So thank you all, and God bless.
All right, I'm glad. She says she's going to rest now and concentrate on her job. What is her job? Representing her people, the people of Kogi State Senatorial District. Did you guys catch the PDA between Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and her husband? I'm talking about the public display of affection. It was beautiful. Her husband had stood beside her through it all, and I think really he's worthy of all the accolades he's getting. Right. But she also dropped a bomber. I'm talking about Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan. She said the Senate president has not withdrawn his case against her. You do remember, we brought you that hashtag right here and a video to accompany it. The Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, was in charge. The priest preached, and the priest was saying, you guys, forget the past, let go, forgive all those who have hurt you. And Senator Akpabio felt it was him the priest was talking to right there in church. He stood up and told everybody that he was going to forgive Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, as well as 8 others, 9 cases in all that he had in court. He said he was going to withdraw them ASAP. But Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan just came out to tell Nigerians today that the Senate president has not done that. So was it audio forgiveness or what? Guys, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. There's a post and there's a video. Let's take a look at the post first, shall we? And then the video afterwards. Hashtag Natasha. Nigerian Affairs Journal says Senate President Akpabio has not withdrawn his cases against me in court. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Take a listen, guys.
Have you forgiven those that were behind your deal?
I would like to mention for clarity that these cases do not form part of the cases that the Senate President mentioned in court. And as of today, he has not instructed his lawyers to discontinue the several cases that he and his wife initiated. So let's end it at that. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, end of discussion. She said, let's end it there. So we're going to end it there. But fingers crossed to see how this one pans out. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow we're going to see the headlines all over. Senate President withdraws case against Senator Natasha Akpoti. This is me permutating here. Well, the next hashtag is hashtag Armed Forces Remembrance Day. So Nigeria today is marking the Armed Forces Remembrance Day and honoring fallen heroes and also rededicating commitment to taking care of those these fallen heroes have left behind. Now, the Nigerian Army put up a post. I'd like for us to take a look at that first, since it's all about them, shall we? Hashtag Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Nigerian Army says, President Tinubu honors fallen heroes at AFCRD 2026 as COAS, Chief of Army Staff and Service Chiefs, pay solemn tribute. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, on Thursday, the 15th of January 2026, led the nation in solemn remembrance of the Nigerians fallen heroes during the Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day 2026 at the National Cenotaph, Eagle Square, Abuja. The deeply reflective ceremony served as a moment of national gratitude for officers and men who laid down their lives in defense of the country's peace, unity, and sovereignty. The president was represented at the occasion by the Vice President, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, who laid a wreath on behalf of the president in honor of the brave personnel who paid the supreme sacrifice in service to the nation. Let's take a look at the next post. And this is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is outside the country at the moment. He is in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, I beg your pardon, the UAE on the 2026 summit. This is what he said. On this Armed Forces Remembrance and Celebration Day, Nigeria pauses to honor its heroes. We remember the brave men and women of the Nigerian Armed Forces who sacrificed everything for our country. Their names might not always be remembered, but their courage sustains our freedom and peace. A nation that forgets its fallen heroes loses its direction. Nigeria, however, remembers. I also speak today to the families of our fallen heroes, widows, children, and loved ones. Your loss is profound, and no words can replace the sacrifices of your loved ones. They served Nigeria with honor, and our people will never forget their sacrifices. Today, we celebrate our 7 personnel from the front lines to support positions on land, sea, and air. You carry the heavy responsibility of protecting our people and sovereignty with discipline, courage, and professionalism, often far from home. There's a concluding part of the post from the president. Let's take a look at it. Ends by saying, as President and Commander-in-Chief, I reaffirm my commitment to the welfare and dignity of our armed forces. A secure Nigeria stands behind those who defend it. We will continue to support them in action. May our fallen heroes rest in peace. May God strengthen our armed forces, and may God bless Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right, the next post now. This one is from Aminu Tambuwal. It's beautiful. He also wished the Nigerian Army all the best, really. And he put up this very beautiful picture along with a post to very beautifully crafted Armed Forces Remembrance Day. We will always remember our fallen heroes. Let's take a look at the next post. Yeah, Abakar Nakwada says, today I had the honor of representing Governor Dauda Lawal at the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day ceremony. We paid tribute to our fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our nation. The next one. All right, so there is another one from TV 360. I got that right, saying that the ADC is criticizing President Tinubu for not being home as Nigeria marks the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Now, credit goes to Stanley Okwecha, presidential spokesman, for these 2 videos you're about to watch. The first one is Vice President Kashim Shettima representing President Tinubu, laying wreaths in honor of the fallen heroes. And the second one is same Vice President Kashim Shettima, as well as Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, as well as other dignitaries, you know, letting the pigeons fly out. It's a tradition, yeah, and it's something I wait for every year. So let's take a look at the first video now of the Vice President laying the wreath, shall we? Hashtag Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
The Vice President is proceeding to lay the wreath. This is a time of solemnity, time we recognize and respect the fallen heroes of our great country, Nigeria. This is a time we pay due allegiance to the fallen heroes who have redeemed mankind from the devastation of the burial of the gone. This is a time we pay our respect to the heroes who have laid down their lives for our dear country, Nigeria. And as the band plays funeral music, abide with me to commemorate the solemnity of this precious moment.
And that is the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Armed Forces Remembrance Day ceremony, Eagle Square, Abuja. Let's take a look at the next video now where the pigeons are allowed to fly. The pigeons now will be allowed to fly out of a cage by the Vice President as well as Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President. Let's take a look at that one.
Oh, yeah, shaking.
The pigeons had been released, and as they fly away, it is hoped that our beloved country will indeed continue to experience long-lasting peace and prosperity.
Beautiful. Like the compare said, it's symbolic of peace and, you know, Nigeria experiencing long life and prosperity. There was one year when the president tried it too. I think it was during President Muhammadu Buhari's time or so. I can't remember clearly. The pigeons refused to leave the cage. Some of the pigeons, but some left anyway. But it's a beautiful sight to behold. And of course, right here at VOP, we honor our fallen heroes and for the armed forces and as a whole, protecting Nigeria's territorial dignity. God bless you guys. We move on now to the next hashtag, which is hashtag Uganda Election Day. Let's take a quick trip out of Nigeria to Uganda. So it is election day in Uganda, and there are talks that the incumbent government is stifling opposition, and that one of the ways they're trying to ensure that the incumbent government retains power is by shutting down social media. Now, Larry Madowo, he works with the CNN and he covers Africa. He has some very important information. But before Larry gives us his piece of information, though, the president of Uganda is saying that he suffered technical glitches during, during the whole process. He was trying to cast his vote, but he said he suffered technical glitches. It goes to show you that it's not just in Nigeria where you see the beavers and the IRF, is malfunctioning and all of that. But let's take a look at that first post that brings us news from Uganda, shall we? Hashtag Uganda Election Day. CGTN Africa says Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni says he faced technical problems while voting, as election day was marked by delays, glitches, and opposition claims of manipulation. Hashtag election, hashtag Uganda, hashtag Uganda elections 2026. The next post. So human rights defender says, vote counting is underway. At one polling station, Bobby Wine, who happens to be one of the contestants, major opposition, led by over 80% before a security officer ordered people to leave. Voters refused. Early results point to historic turnout, reflecting Uganda's youth. 75% of the population is under 35, participating in unprecedented numbers. Hashtag Uganda Decides 2026. Well, a quick warning, guys. The video you're about to watch is amateur capturing, amateur videoing or recording, whichever you want to take it, however you want to take it. But take a look at how it's happening right now in Uganda.
Chagulanyi Sentamu Chagulanyi Sentamu Chagulanyi Sentamu Chagulanyi Sentamu Chagulanyi Sentamu Chagulanyi Sentamu Chagulanyi Chagulanyi Chagulanyi
Now, according to the post and the person that put up that video, Bobby Wine is leading, and as soon as it became public knowledge, the police ordered the voters to leave, but they refused. And so, like you saw, counting is underway, and it looks like a very manual process. I'm thinking they've not gone electronic as well. But Larry Madowo has that post I was telling you about. Larry, like I said, works with the CNN and covers Africa for CNN. Let's take a look at his post now and what he has to say. So Larry Madowo says, developing. Vote counting continues in Uganda after an election delayed by failures of biometric voter verification kits. Bobby Wine says, that's Bobby Wine there, the opposition leader. Bobby Wine says the internet was cut to facilitate the intended rigging. But President Yoweri Museveni claims that the opposition rigged the last election. All right, so that's about it, guys. And as events unfold in Uganda, we will keep you posted. Now we move on to something that concerns Nigeria very, very much. Away from politics now. You know how Nigeria, the Super Eagles, crashed out of AFCON yesterday after so much expectations. People placed bets. There was so much expectations. People sat down watching the match for hours. At the end of the day, when Morocco came out victorious, Lagos, the whole of Lagos was quiet like it was a graveyard. It shows that this was a big deal. My colleague, OBO, credit goes to him. Thanks, OBO. It's a beautiful job. He went out to feel the pulse of the people and how Nigerians are reacting to this particular defeat. Super Eagles crashing out of AFCON after the clash of the Titans with Morocco. Take a listen, guys.
Football fan because I stopped watching football I think 2017. Yesterday football was something else. Like I couldn't even bear the pain. It was as if they broke my heart. Actually, I've not been following up with the matches because I heard that Nigeria is in semi-final, so I had to go outside, go outside to watch my country, you understand? So I was expecting Nigeria to win that match. Remember my guys were even saying that Nigeria is going to come up with like maybe 2-1. They win Morocco like 2-1. But unfortunately, we received outbreak. Nigeria actually they tried their best, but I think Morocco is better. Chukwueze, anyway, you are just know I'm not really happy with you. I expected more. He's an international player now. You understand? But I can't judge him though. It's live and it's also football. Sometimes things can change.
From the beginning, I've been watching Nigeria match from the group stage, the first, the second, the third match. Even the round of 16 and quarterfinal, I've been watching it. Before the match, I know that we are playing against three things. Number one, the fans. Number two, the player. And number three, the officiating, of which that was what came out yesterday. I gave Nigeria to win at least 1-0 because it wasn't going to be easy. I felt bad. But Chukwueze, I don't know what happened to him. Please, he should not come back to Nigeria again because that was uncalled for. I don't expect such a penalty from a high-profile player like Chukwueze. Pick a boy from here in Oshodi here. They can't even play that kind of penalty. Don't talk of Chukwueze that have toyed the whole world playing football.
That yesterday after match was kind of tough and also a mind-blowing match. So I'm not gonna lie for you. Me, I know they like watch match, but I have to watch that one. And unfortunately, those people for my hand. The match was successful. We played draw. Okay, getting to the penalty stage. I'm supposed to put body for that ball.
The way they played in the penalty, it's so annoying. Imagine the person as if you are throwing a banana to a monkey. That's the way it is. If you had played and the thing hit the bar, it would have been another thing. Or play up. As I'm not a keeper, I can catch that kind of ball.
You see this match yesterday, this Nigeria Morocco. I don't thought I must watch out. Because this thing, I don't enter house on time. I got wait that time reach. I watch this match. Watch first half, I hope say second half go tough. Second half, they form my hand. As they enter PK. Oh man, I like for you, I go out, so I don't watch that match again. I just stand up where I did, they go. I don't know, after that second half, you see anything PK for Nigeria matter, Nigeria don't lose this match.
We are not going to the World Cup. This is the right position, and this is the time that Nigeria is supposed to prove themselves and get this AFCON Cup. I was very annoyed on this. The AFCON yesterday, they tried, but they do not put their best. What I want from them, they do not put their best. Because in terms of penalty, you can see what Chukwueze just played. Chukwueze just delivered this ball to keeper.
My gosh, beautiful reactions. Obio, again, thank you. That was a fantastic job. Now, you heard Michael keep saying PK all day, over and over again. I think he was referring to penalty kick out or something. This is the same thing that happened during the World Cup qualifiers. And I'm sure the Super Eagles is going to be missing Troost-Ekong for a very long time because he is a maestro when it comes to, you know, penalty kicks and all of that. But my question is, why is everybody saying Chukwueze now? Like Elijah, my colleague, will say he's the scapegoat. He's not the only one that missed a penalty. Why is everybody calling for his head? As some people were saying he didn't show enough remorse. Some people were angry that he was chewing gum. He reminded them of the Yakubu Ayegbeni saga, you know, of him and the post, and he missed, you know, the penalty, and he was chewing gum and smiling. But Chukwueze, if you watch that video all over again, he wept. He showed remorse. But this is a game, right? And like some of the respondents said, our boys, they actually fought gallantly. So we say congratulations to them. Also, hashtag Chell is trending because people are saying Chell probably is one of the best things to have happened to the Super Eagles, that he did his best and that the NFF should probably retain him. But I'd like for us to take a look at another hashtag, which is related. It's still about AFCON. This is comedian Bovey now, talking about how he feels. Hashtag Bovey. Let's take a look at The Punch. The Punch has that post. And of course, they put up this video. Credit goes to Bovey himself for the video he put up. He's also reacting to Nigeria crashing out of the AFCON tournament. Let's take a look at the post by The Punch, shall we? Yeah. Punch newspaper says, football, Nigeria's only true unifier, says Bovey, following loss to Morocco. Of course, credit goes to Bovey via Instagram. Take a look, guys.
Listen, guys, usually I would not do this. I don't like telling people how to do their jobs. I have so many, let me not say so many, I have several friends in the Super Eagles team that I talk to, and I have never ever in my life interfered in their football. But I think it's very necessary that I do this because over the years I have been seeing the same pattern repeat itself. Listen, religion stops this country from burning. You get? Because we are very religious people. So this religion versus this religion, they just do their thing themselves. You get? That's one aspect of it. Politics divides this nation because self-interest comes into play in politics. If there's anything that unites Nigeria as a nation, it's football. Mark my words, it's football. So dear Super Eagles and intending Super Eagles players, have this at the back of your mind. When you are playing for Nigeria, regardless of how the NFF treats you, if you choose to say, I will play for Nigeria, understand that you have the potential, the power, the strength to unite Nigeria. Football is the only thing that brings Muslims and Christians, North, South, East, and West together. In case you guys don't know, please check your history. When Nigeria is playing football, in our victorious moments, the whole nation forgets where any other person is from. You have to treat it like you are an assassin. I ain't never seen in my life where an assassin, and go and ask, maybe I'm wrong, you will never see an assassin have an opportunity to kill somebody and choose to go like this or like this while chewing gum. You get? Chukwueze, I forgive him from the bottom of my heart, but you need to understand that the weight of a nation lies in your hand. But if you go for glory before victory, more often than not, you will mess up. More often than not, you become the victim. I was not born when they shot the good, the bad, ugly. But one of the most famous lines in movie history is, if you want to shoot, shoot, don't talk. If you want to shoot, shoot, don't talk, don't shoot chewing gum, don't look up at the camera, don't smile before the shootout. Like you are in enemy territory, you have to kill, you have to strike. Don't let that ember come alive. We let an advantage slip. And just so you know, I'm really not blaming only Chukwueze. You need to understand, 1994, those are our heroes. But guess what? They messed up. They messed up at the most critical moment. They messed up 2 minutes to go. Nevertheless, they are still our heroes because it was literally our first time at the World Cup. You will hardly find a Nigerian who says their hero is a politician or a pastor. Ask Nigerians, my age grade, right? Okocha, Olise, Kanu, Tadripo, who again? Ipeba, They are endless. Go and check that 94 to 96 set. Those are Nigerian heroes. They are the reasons why we are still alive, because those memories have not been erased by greater achievements. You get what I'm saying? Don't come to the Super Eagles if you know you are not ready to kill or die for the nation. If NFF don't pay you your money, then let it go. Social media be fucking you guys up real bad. Not just from this tournament, previous tournaments.
Oh my gosh, Bovie, don't say swear words on air. Gosh. But he actually was taking it personal. It's not just Bobby. It looks like this thing, Nigerians actually took it very, very, very personal. People like Davido, Pella, and lots of other people lost huge amounts of money, millions, right? Because they gambled. I was telling somebody yesterday, do not gamble. Never, ever, no matter how sure the odds are. Now, Nigerian billionaire Boa has promised he's going ahead to give the Super Eagles $500,000, regardless of them crashing out from the AFCON tourney. And I think it's a good thing. I'm hoping that netizens will stop trolling the Super Eagles. Let the boys lie. Let them lie in peace. Gosh, they just played football. They didn't try to kill anybody. On that note, we move on to a very last hashtag for today, which is hashtag 2026 Mobile Awards. The nominations are out. I have a post there. We have the names. Let's take a look at them. You tell me who you're actually voting for. Wonder Kid says 2026 Mobile Awards, Best African Music Act nominees. Wizkid, of course. Weezy is going to be there. Davido, Tyler, Adekunle Gold, Rema, Ira Star, Charlie Poppy, Joshua Baraka, Mali, and Tiwa Savage. I promise to bring you details of, the nomination and what are nominated for what. On that note, I got to say thanks to everyone actually who contributed to making the show a success today. But greater thanks goes to you guys for watching. Until I come your way again, my name is Vivian Oguche. Bye for now.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. the issues. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
In a major move to protect telecommunication subscribers across Nigeria, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), has finalized a new regulatory framework mandating instant refunds for failed airtime and data transactions. According to a statement signed by the NCC's Head of Public Affairs, Nena Ukoa, the framework is the outcome of several months of intensive engagement involving the NCC, the CBN, the mobile network operators, value-added service providers, deposit money banks, and other key stakeholders. Under the new framework, any subscriber who is debited but fails to receive airtime or data, whether the failures occur at the bank level or with an NCC licensed operator, is entitled to a refund within 30 seconds. However, in cases where a transaction is still pending, the refund may take up to 24 hours. As reactions continue to trail these developments, Voice of the People TV got the opinion of Nigerians on what this new policy truly means for the people.